Nobody warned me that at 43 my brain would feel like it was falling apart. I was already juggling everything: work, kids, the house, and then perimenopause hit. And suddenly I couldn't remember a single thing. I couldn't finish a sentence. I was crying in parking lots for no reason, and every doctor I saw said the same thing. It's just hormones. It'll pass. But here's what nobody told me. It wasn't just hormones. It was ADHD, and perimenopause was pouring gasoline on a fire that had been burning my whole life. I was diagnosed with ADHD at 43, and for most of my life I had no idea. I just thought I was scattered, emotional, too much, not enough. I thought that's just who I was. And then perimenopause started, and it was like someone turned the volume up on every symptom I'd been white-knuckling through for decades. The brain fog got thicker, the overwhelm got louder, the forgetfulness. I was losing keys, losing words, losing entire conversations mid-sentence. I genuinely thought something was wrong with me. Like, medically wrong. Like maybe this was early dementia or something. It wasn't. But it took me way too long to figure out what was actually happening. And I don't want that for you. So here's what I've learned, and what the research is starting to back up. Estrogen plays a huge role in how dopamine works in your brain. It basically helps regulate it. And for women with ADHD, whose dopamine systems are already running differently, when estrogen starts to fluctuate and drop during perimenopause, it's like losing a support system you didn't even know you had. That's why so many women hit their late 30s and 40s and suddenly feel like they're losing their minds. The coping strategies that barely worked before, they stop working entirely. And because ADHD in women already looks so different, we're not hyperactive kids bouncing off walls. We're exhausted adults who have been masking and compensating for decades. Doctors miss it. Every single time. They see a woman in perimenopause who's anxious and forgetful and emotional, and they say, hormones. End of story. But for a lot of us, it's ADHD. And we deserve to know that. I'm not saying it's not hormones. It absolutely is. But if the hormone treatments aren't fully working, if you still feel like you can't think straight even with HRT, this might be why. The ADHD piece has to be addressed too. When I finally got diagnosed and started to understand all of this, I felt two things at once. I felt relieved. Like, oh, that's why. That's why everything felt so hard for so long. And I felt angry. Not at myself. For the first time in my life. Not at myself. Angry that nobody told me. Angry that I spent decades thinking I was the problem. You are not the problem. If you're sitting here nodding at everything I just said, the brain fog, the overwhelm, the feeling like you're finally losing it, I want you to take that seriously. Push for answers. Ask specifically about ADHD. Find a provider who actually knows this connection, because you deserve more than it's just hormones. In my next video, I'm going to talk about what I call the 30-year hide, and what it actually costs you to mask ADHD for that long. If any of this resonated, subscribe so you don't miss it. And drop a comment below. Did you know about the perimenopause ADHD connection? I want to hear your story. You're not crazy. You're not falling apart. You just finally have the right information. I'll see you in the next one.